tests do more harm than good?
They don't work. They don't save lives. And they can do you harm.
What to get and what to skip.
When it comes to preventing cancer, you've been doing everything right. Now, we told you early detection was the answer, and you listened. You've gotten all the right screening at the right ages. But a brand new study by Consumer Reports just out says that 8 well-known cancer screening tests are ineffective and will not save lives. So what's the bottom line? Today I'm settling the question, which cancer test do you really need? Consumer Reports became famous for testing everything from cars to toasters. But they just broke new ground with this cover. For the first time ever, they rate cancer screenings. And you won't believe which tests they say are not worth the money or the risks. Your doctors advise you to have them, and I've advocated for them on my show. This year, we launched our biggest program ever, helping thousands of Americans get life-saving screenings. But Consumer Reports claims that 8 out of 11 cancer screenings, many widely recommended, should be avoided by most people. Their analysis is getting thumbs down from some doctors, but others say the medical community has been exaggerating the benefits of cancer screening for years. Has Consumer Reports uncovered crucial information about the future of your health? Joining me is Dr. John Santa, the director of Consumer Reports Health Ratings Center. These are the 8 cancer screening tests Consumer Reports says you do not need if you're asymptomatic with no risk factors. Again, I emphasize, no symptoms, no risk factors. They are bladder, lung, pancreatic, ovarian, prostate, testicular, oral, and skin. That is a large territory of tests. Dr. Santa, it's an incredibly powerful statement, very strong approach to this. Why do you think it's wise to tell people to stop getting these screening tests?
Well, because they don't work. They don't save lives. And they can do you harm. They can cause you stress, lead to more tests, inappropriate treatment, and in many cases, you're worse off than you were before you had the test.
I must say, my personal training, but also many in the medical community would argue that these are life-saving tests. It's why they recommend them.
That's right. Mine too. We're outdated. New information, new evidence, better studies. These tests aren't cutting it.
Okay, so let's walk through why these 8 tests you believe are ineffective or ineffective. First off, you argue that cancer is different than what we once thought it was.
That's right. We're now seeing cancer at an early stage where, for example, cervical cancer, young women, it will go away on its own. Shouldn't be doing invasive surgeries that could have a downstream and worrisome effect on them. Other cancers the same way. Early stages of breast cancer, maybe prostate cancer. So cancer is a different disease than we've thought about in the past.
And there are these borderline diagnoses. We're not even sure if they are cancer or not, which I think fits in that category as well. Secondly, you argue that cancer statistics are misleading. How so?
Well, that's right. I mean, at Consumer Reports, we're skeptical about anything that can be used for advertising or promotion, and you hear a survival rate. Well, wait a minute. We think when we hear survival rate, the treatment must be better. No, could be just a better screening test that detects it earlier. You don't live any longer. The treatment isn't any better. They just diagnosed it earlier, so it sounds like a better survival rate. It's not.
Oh, my goodness. All right, the third reason you argue is that too many people are told to get tests that they don't need.
If you have tests that you don't need, you're not going to be safe. You're going to put yourself at risk, and you're going to be sorry. False positives, more tests, again, inappropriate treatment, radiation that could have a long-term effect on you.
Well, I mean, if a screening test could save even one life, just one life, one person who's watching us right now were to live longer, wouldn't it be worth it?
It sounds compelling, but what if it costs 2 lives? What if it costs 10 lives 20 years later because of the radiation exposure?